Hello, and welcome to Thomas More School Music Department. My name is Mr. Fowler. I'm the head of music. And today, in our short lesson, we are going to look at a topic called the elements of music. The elements of music is a topic that can actually last you from year 7 all the way through to A level, because it helps us understand how we listen to music and what we should listen for. So the elements of music are rather like the ingredients you might have in a cake. We need all these things that you can see in front of you to make up our music. We need pitch, we need duration, dynamics, tempo, timbre, texture, attack and decay, and silence. All these things help make the music we listen to. One of our most important elements is tempo. And tempo literally means the speed the music goes at. We can measure that in beats per minute, or we can use words to help explain tempo. We often use Italian words in music. So for example, you'll see there it says largo for very slow, moderato for moderate, and presto for very fast. Basically in music we have 3 speeds: slow, medium, and fast. But there are lots of different words we can use to explain the bits in the middle. So a slow piece of music might sound like this. A medium piece of music might sound like this. A little bit quicker. But a fast piece of music might sound like this. We could say that's presto. The next element I'd like to have a look at is dynamics. Now, dynamics is a bit of a strange word, but it's a word in music that we use to describe volume. So dynamics literally means the loudness or maybe the softness of the music. So here's a little fact. This instrument here is a piano. When it was first invented, it was called a pianoforte. We've just shortened it to piano. The reason it was called a pianoforte, it was the first keyboard instrument that could actually play soft and loud, depending on how hard you hit the keys. So our 2 describing words for dynamics are piano for soft and forte for loud. So I can play softly, or I can play loudly. And I can say that's forte. You'll see on this slide all the different words we use, again, Italian words, to describe dynamics. We can have fortissimo, which is very loud, forte, which is loud. We can have mezzo forte and mezzo piano, which is moderate loud and moderately soft. And we can have piano for soft and pianissimo for very soft. You'll notice at the bottom there are some symbols and a word that says crescendo. We can use this word for meaning that our music is gradually getting louder. Or we can say it's diminuendo when our music gradually gets softer. The next element we're going to look at is duration. On the screen in front of you, you can see lots of different types of notes with tails, some coloured in, some not coloured in, some have stems, some don't have stems. All these things indicate how long our notes sound in music. And we can have long notes and we can have short notes. And again, we can have notes in the middle. Some of the notes on the right-hand side of our screen are worth 4 beats. The ones on our left-hand side of the screen are only worth a quarter of a beat or half a beat. So they are short notes. So I can make up a piece of music with long notes. Let's go back to our piece of music at the beginning. Or I can make up a piece of music using short notes. And you can see how it totally changes the character of the piece of music. Pitch. This is again one of our really important elements. Pitch is all to do with the highness or the lowness of the sound. So, on my piano, I can play up here. I want to create a sort of fairy-like sound. I can play down here. I want to create a lower, more aggressive, scary sound. If we think about pitch in terms of instruments, some instruments are very, very high. So, for example, a flute is very high. A recorder is very high. A piccolo is very high. Often they're smaller instruments and they play the higher pitches. Lower instruments tend to be much bigger. The double bass, the tuba, the strings on the low end of a piano are thicker, and they play the lower sounds. So pitch is high and low. Attack and decay. This one looks very complicated and almost looks very scientific. Well, it sort of is, but we can use more musical terms to describe it. I can play my notes accented. Where I'm playing quite deliberately and quite strong. I can play my notes smoothly. We call this legato, smoothly. I can play the notes staccato. Where all the notes are very short and very detached. Texture. This is a really important part of music. And this is what makes music interesting. Sometimes in a piece of music, you only need one performer or one melody line to create the texture. Other times in music, we need lots of instruments playing together. We call this texture, and this is where we say the music is either thin or thick. So, if I demonstrate on the piano, if I only play one melody, I can say the texture is thin. If I play lots of notes, I can say the texture is thick. The same as if it was a full orchestra playing all that, we could say the texture is thick. If it was only one instrument, we could say it's thin. Timbre is another one of our elements. Now the word timbre, imagine that I is an A. That's how we pronounce it, timbre. It is the unique sound that an instrument makes. So for example, our violins, our cellos, our violas, and our double basses all make a unique sound. We call those instruments the string family. Our woodwind instruments, such as the flute, the clarinet, the oboe, the bassoon, the cor anglais, all have another sound. That's why they are the woodwind instrument. Our trumpets, our French horns, our trombones, and our tubas come from the brass family. So they have their own unique sound, their own unique timbre. And finally, our percussion instruments. Basically, they're any instrument you hit. It's a drum, it's a xylophone, it could be some cowbells, it could be a maraca. Sometimes percussion instruments actually have notes, sometimes they are just sounds. We call those pitched or unpitched. And they all have their own unique timbre. So here's a summary of our elements of music. We have pitch, which is the highness or the lowness of the sound. Tempo, the speed of the music, i.e. fast, slow, or in the middle. Dynamics is our volume. We can say loud or soft, and we can use some of our Italian words. Remember, piano, forte. We've got duration, it's the length of each sound. We've got attack and decay, how the sound starts and stops. Is it accented? Is it staccato? Is it legato? Is it smooth? We have texture. Really, that's how many instruments or how many things are going on at any one time. Is it thin? Is it thick? We have the unique sound of the instruments, which we call timbre. Are they strings, woodwind, brass, or percussion? Is it a male singer? Is it a female singer? The other element we can sometimes have is silence. Sometimes silence can be very effective in our music. Just like that. So I've got a little challenge for you. This is a listening challenge. I want you to choose any piece of music you like. It can be a piece you know, it can be a piece perhaps you've never heard before. It might be a piece of film music, it might be a piece of jazz, it might be a bit of classical music, it might be a bit of rock and roll, rock, R&B, whatever. What I'd like you to do is listen to it 2 or 3 times. Click on the music challenge link in front of you and have a go at our Elements of Music listening challenge. All the questions there are about the music and elements that we've talked about. So you should be able to answer that. And hopefully it will really help you understand how we listen to music and what we can get out of it. When you've done that, do have a click on our Thomas Moore Music Online page on our website and have a listen to some of the amazing performances we've managed over the last year or two. Some of them have been done during lockdown. Thank you very much for joining me today, and I look forward to seeing you again. Bye.